Hi, it's Bernard Nomberg with another episode of Nomberg Law Live. We usually come to you every Tuesday at 10 a.m. On Tuesdays, but today I am blessed to have two new friends in my presence, and we've got a really interesting show to share with you, and I hope you'll give us a few minutes because both Roni and Grace, who are here from Israel, they're visiting the United States for a short period of time, and we're going to talk about some really interesting things that they're doing. So thank you for tuning in for another episode of Nomberg Law Live. And I have Roni Akale. He's the Director General for the Ethiopian National Project, and Grace Rodnitzki, who is the Director of International Relations, also with the Ethiopian National Project. The Birmingham Jewish Federation, where we're in their offices today, have been supporters of this project over the last several years, and they're here in town and also visiting a few other states while they're in the United States, talking about their project and what they do, and I'm so pleased for you guys to make some time for me today, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you would, let's start with you, Roni. If you would, just introduce yourself and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
My name is Roni Akale, and I'm a Director General of the Ethiopian National Project. This project is a unique project that created for the Ethiopian community. They came from Ethiopia in the 19th and 18th. Before I talk about my community, I like to talk about myself.
Certainly.
Maybe that will be the good opening that the Ethiopian, when I say I born in the village, Jewish village, I start my education in that village. That village was, there is no electricity, no bus, no training, no train. All the time I go to the school by foot. It's far from my village.
And what's the name of your village where you grew up?
My village is Roni, and I learn in Nomberg.
And what part of the country? What direction?
The north part of Ethiopia. It's in Gondar. It's far from Gondar, about 13 kilometers, 30.
And you lived in that village or that community until what age?
I learned elementary school at the age of 12, and in the age of 13, I left my village, and I go to Gondar to continue my education. As you can imagine that in the age of 13, you leave your village and without any person that can care about you, and you must care about yourself, and you to continue to learn, and that I did it. I continue to learn from 7th grade to 12th grade in facilities in Gondar.
How far were you from your village, from your family?
Wow, that's about 30 kilometers.
Were you able to visit with them during any of those years?
No. I came from Sunday to Friday. On Friday, I go back to my village, and I bring for food for a week.
Oh, I see.
To continue my education. By that way, I complete 12th grade in Gondar. After that, I finished my education, and I go to work for a government of Ethiopia as a bookkeeper. At that time, I heard from my best friend, this is the time to go to Jerusalem.
And what year is this approximately?
It's 1983.
1983, okay.
Yeah, and I say, how can you get to Jerusalem? And he said, don't worry. My friends go to Sudan, and from Sudan they arrive to Israel, and they send me a letter. So we can do it. And I say, okay, let us do it, because we think to come to Jerusalem 2,500 years, and praying and dreaming, and we didn't lost this dream, and we say, now this is the time, and we can go to Sudan and arrive to Israel, and we start to find someone to lead us. And you know, the person, when we find a guy person, it's very hard to believe him because you don't know him.
Right.
And we say we must take this opportunity, so we take it, and we start our journey. In the middle of the journey, the guy person told us, the Sudan is not far from here, and he gives his donkey and his son, and he say, okay, you can go, and we believe him.
And how many people are in your group traveling at this time?
We were 7. One girl, the other, the 6 boys.
Any family members or just
No,
yourself?
I and my friends,
Mm-hmm.
no family member. And in the middle of the jungle, the robbers came and took everything what we had.
Oh.
We left without nothing, and we say what we are, what we must do, and we say we have aim, we have vision. We continue to go to Jerusalem, and we continue, but there was a different challenge after a half day walking, and the person doesn't know the way, and we have a donkey, and we are 7 people, and we are in the jungle. There is a hyenas, there are lions, there are dangerous animals. We must keep ourselves from this, and also we don't have any weapon to protect us. And the guy person, the son of the guy person, doesn't know the way. But we were not lucky. The donkey knows the way, and donkey was now our GPS. And we believe that the donkey took us from that jungle area to the border area, and that's what happened.
And
you
how-
can imagine.
How long was that journey for just to
Well,
get to the border?
That's 5 days after the robbers came and took everything, and we start to guide by the donkey. And when we arrived to the border, I met my brother, my young brother, and I asked him, "What are you doing here?" And I didn't know before that. He left his village, and he continues to go to Sudan. And my young brother and me didn't told for our parents, because we are afraid that at that time the government was communist, and if we talk to them about the journey, maybe they can jail them. So we kept secretly.
So you did this for the safety of your own parents?
Yeah.
By not telling them?
Yeah, and we arrived to Sudan.
How did you and your younger brother find each other?
The Sudanese didn't allow them to enter to Sudan. They were in the border. So when we arrived, and I see my brother in the border, you know?
How terribly shocked and
It's-
surprised were you?
It's very surprised. It's for me, I didn't think that I can meet my brother in the border, but that's happened. And we continue to go to Sudan. We enter to Sudan. The situation in Sudan was very difficult because we don't have money. We don't have anything because the robbers took everything what we had.
So you didn't have any identification papers or
No,
passports or any paperwork?
No, nothing. At that time, not only the Ethiopian Jews arrived to Sudan, also the Ethiopian young people, they go to Sudan to continue to another country. And we met them in the refuge camp. In the refuge camp, it was very, very bad because for people, they didn't have any food to eat. But we were lucky. The Mossad people was there. Some of the Ethiopian young people, they arrive in Sudan and they start to work with the Mossad, and they come to the refuge camp and say, Oh, I met my brother, I met my sister, and they took us in the hidden place, and they started to give us food, clothes, and like that.
How long were you in the camp?
I was 2.5 months.
Mhm.
It's a short time,
Mhm.
but there are many Ethiopians. They live 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and the situation in Sudan was very bad. And many Ethiopian Jews are dead. Not only the Ethiopian Jews, but I know about 4,000 Ethiopian Jews are dead in Sudan. And even I myself, I bury 3 people. That means, if you ask me, where do you bury them? I can say I bury them in the field. We dig the ground and bury them. There is no ceremony. There is no people. Very few people are going to bury these people. But I was lucky also. I go to Khartoum. From Khartoum, I fly to Paris, and I arrived to Israel. When I arrived to Israel, I came with nothing.
And was this all in 1983?
It was in 1983.
So from when the time you left your village until you landed in Israel, how long of a period of time?
It was 4.5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was your brother with you the rest of the...
No, my brother fly before me, and he flies to Israel in the hidden flight that happened in Sudan. But I fly from Khartoum to Paris. From Paris, I came to Israel. When I came, as I say, I came without nothing. I came with my mind. I start my life from zero, and I go to Ulpan. After that, I go to the university. I graduated social work first degree, and I go to the army. I was a mental health officer in the Israeli army.
How old were you when you were in the army?
I was 27.
So you were an older man,
Yeah.
compared to most of the soldiers.
Most of the soldiers.
Did they give you a nickname? What was your nickname?
Yeah, I was the eldest in that group. But I say I serve my country, and I'm very happy to serve my country. And after that, I go. I finished my army, and I go to make to my second degree in public administration. And also I when I was in the army, I participated in the Operation Salomon. I helped for the Ethiopian newcomers to send them to hospitals and to enter to the plane and say, "Welcome to Israel."
And this was Operation Solomon?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to that in just a minute. Thank you for sharing your story, and I'm so glad that you're here visiting with us for now. Grace, tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, my story doesn't compare to Roni's. All I had to do was leave the King of Prussia Mall and decide to come to Israel. But I, as a teenager, actually fell in love with Israel and all things Israeli, and went to get advice about moving to Israel, where I visited Shaliach, one who gives counsel about moving, and he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, even then, I said, "I want to make a difference." He said, "Grace," he said, "Israel doesn't need 17-year-old flag-waving Zionists. If you really want to make a difference, first get a university education."
Right.
Which is what I did, to the next best thing to Israel, which was Brandeis University.
Sure.
And I graduated the class in 1990, and then I took the first plane ride over. So I was in Israel in 1991 for Operation Solomon, with Operation Solomon being the unbelievable secret airlift where over 14,000 Ethiopian Jews were airlifted in 36 hours in 36 plane loads. And I was a newcomer wondering if I was going to be successful in Israel, yet I learned Hebrew at university, and I know English, which is a commodity. And I remember going out the next day, seeing all the newcomers draped in their traditional white, thinking, my God, if I'm worried about myself, imagine these newcomers and all the challenges.
And how long had you been in Israel when Operation Solomon was going on?
Just a year.
Did you have any participation with that?
The next day I went out and I was in Jerusalem at that time, and I went to the Diplomat Hotel, which was transformed overnight into an absorption center, and did everything from amusing the kids to teaching them how to juggle, to arranging for donations of toothbrushes and teaching dental hygiene and everything and anything. It was unbelievable. Everybody. There was the word I would use was euphoria. In Israel, there was absolute joy that our Ethiopian Jewish brothers and sisters were returning home.
Well, for that many people on such a short period of time to make a successful journey, I'm sure the mood of those involved had to have been the entire range of emotions, but the fact that it was as successful as it was just speaks volumes. It's now been 27, 28 years since that occurred, and how many more people are now in the country as a result of that, and having been born in Israel from the later generations. But I want to step back for just a second. I'd like for you, Grace, if you don't mind, to talk to us, what is the Ethiopian National Project?
The Ethiopian National Project, DNP, was created to ensure the full and successful integration of Ethiopian Jews into Israeli society.
Okay.
The concept was bringing together those who care about Ethiopian Jewry together with the Ethiopian Israeli community itself. So it's a shared initiative between the government of Israel, global supporters, and the Ethiopian Israeli community, which organized to be a full partner around the table to help take a lead in being a part of the solution.
And I know that the Birmingham Jewish Federation has done its part by making donations and bringing people like you over here to share your story. I know that during this week, we're taping this on today, Tuesday. This will come out on Friday, but you've got a packed schedule while you're here. And I'm so pleased to know how many different people and organizations you're going to be affecting this week and sharing that. So thank you both for being here. Roni, tell me about what does it mean to be the Director General of the Ethiopian National Project?
As I say, a person that born in the village and come to the modern society and complete successfully in the university and the army, and to lead and to give the best solution for our community in Israel. That means I lead and I have a big opportunity to give the newcomers, the new Ethiopians, they came from the village. I can say 99% they came from the village and they start their life from zero, and they didn't have any education. They know how to farm the land, and they have a big culture shock when they came to Israel, and the children of them wants to learn. They have a dream, and they want to be like the other Israelis. And when I get this opportunity to be the Director General of the Ethiopian National Project and to give a better solution in education, and the second generation of the Ethiopian community to compute to the Israeli society and to be the highest level, that's for me. It's very very high feeling that I feel because this opportunity is happened to me. If I use this opportunity that for these children, they say we have a large family and our parents are working even 10 hours, 12 hours, the income is not enough. And there is not any possibility to compete to the Israeli society. I say no, that's not the way to think, because I came like you. I have a large family. We are 10 siblings. and we are the 9 of us. We are in Israel. 9 of us we have first degree. 5 of us we have second degree. 4 of us we have officer in the Israeli army. So they cannot complain that I cannot get in the highest level. No, you can.
The opportunity is there.
Yeah, you must do and day and night. Don't complain that I can. They cannot help me because I'm a black person. That's not the way. The way is the door is open for the Ethiopian.
You're changing the mindset of people who probably up until meeting you or the people in your organization have thought, well, I'm just destined. This is my life and it's never going to improve. I see my parents and my aunts and uncles and what they have gone through, but you're changing lives and you've been doing that since 1983 in Israel. I want to ask you, tell me, what is life like in your old community, in your old place where you grew up in Ethiopia now?
You mean in Ethiopia?
In your village in Ethiopia.
When I return back to Ethiopia to visit my village, I find that my village very small. It's not very people that I know. I didn't meet. I didn't find them, and it was very different. So I say, okay, thank you God that I live here. I left this village. I go to Israel. Now I'm in different place. You know, I say for everyone. You know, the Ethiopian Jewish community prays to come to Israel 2,500 years. And that dream becomes real for me in 1983. And that means that we, and as I say, we have a big cultural differences and we have a big, huge different from the culture. And we know that in 20 years or 13 years. I see today the Ethiopian community are in the different area. For example, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have judges, we have ambassadors, we have many young people in the high-tech area.
But they're
when
moving.
I see that,
Go ahead.
when I see that, you see, we were separated from the other Jewish world. We came to Israel before 13 years. Now when I see our community is a motivated community and they are involved in the Israeli society and I see everywhere the Ethiopian Jewish community they are not working for Ethiopians, they are working for the Israelis. So
they've integrated themselves in all of society.
Yeah.
Much like your village from back where you grew up in the South, and maybe other parts of the United States, when there are small communities of Jewish people, those next generations typically are not moving back to where their parents were from. They're moving to the larger cities. So it's I can understand when you say that the next generations are moving to where technology and where more education and just better opportunities are. It's very similar in the South with small Jewish communities, and it may be maybe in Pennsylvania, maybe everywhere. That's just the way society is evolving, at least from a Jewish perspective, Jewish community.
I think you're right, because I see the young generation, they are they change their environment to the highest level of the Israeli society. That's very, very good. Either in marriage, I see the Ethiopian community are married with the others, and that means we came to Israel to involve in the Israeli society. That's the way how to involve, how to improve yourself, but that's not enough. The journey is not stop there. You must dream, you must think, you must do a lot to change your ability and your life.
I want to quote you on that later on. That's a great quote right there. In your job, do you ever come across people from your village in your day-to-day job, or when you're meeting new people, folks from your old village, or do you ever come across them and maybe you remember their family? You may not know them, but you may know somebody from their family, from your village back at home.
Yes, I see. The eldest people, they are sitting and they are not doing something because they have a difficulty because they didn't know the language. Mm-hmm. They have a problem of culture, and if even in the jobs placement, if they want to work, they didn't get a good work. But the young generation, as today we are 150,000 Ethiopian Jews are living in Israel.
Wow.
In this number, 115 are under the age of 40. Wow. So the Ethiopian Jewish community in Israel are the young generation. We can change their reality in education, and we believe that education is the key to change the society in the better way. That is what we are doing in the ENP, in the Ethiopian National Project, and we give also we are talking with the families. How we get in this level, because we are sitting together with the families, with the teachers, with the municipality members, with the government, and we solve the problem immediately, not waiting for the year to solve the problem. That makes us a unique. That makes us a productive project. I think we have a big experience to relate or to give for the others.
Certainly.
To change the even knowledge exchange between us. That's what will be happen, I think, for the future.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Grace. Two-part question, or two questions. What are the issues that are currently going on that you're facing with the ENP, and how can people get involved?
Great. Well, the greatest challenge in Israeli society really is education and being successful, getting what's called a matriculation certificate, high school completion exams. So ENP's real focus is making sure that every Ethiopian Israeli child who requires this work can get the after-school intensive holistic support that they need so that they can excel on those exams, so that they can then get into university to the more elite faculty, so they can be the engineers and the lawyers and the physicians. So our professional focus is providing that service, which has been absolutely, undeniably successful. ENP does an external evaluation to explore how it is that we're doing, and the kids in our program have reached 82% success rate, in contrast to 71% of the 12th grade matriculation awarding population.
Wow,
So
it's a motivated group.
a motivated group that's really doing successful, and then getting into those professions that will enable them to support their children, so that their children will no longer need such programs. So our greatest challenge is really ensuring that every child who requires that program can get in the program. And the Ethiopian National Project absolutely welcomes everybody's involvement in making sure that happens.
And we'll put in the comment section the links to either websites or whatever other social media that you guys have that you want to be able to spread the word and the information. Is there a website? Is there email or a particular phone number that you want to share?
Well, www.enp.org.il is our website. And the exciting thing also about those who choose to support our work is that every dollar is matched by the government of Israel.
Oh, wow.
So literally doubled. And the beauty of the work that we do also is right now we've got 5,087 children in 28 cities participating in ENP's work. And every single one of those children, those families have stories to share. And those are the stories that we really look to bring home and to share with you to make sure that you guys understand the critical importance of the work and the incredible work that's being carried out.
Wow. Thank you so much. I could talk to you guys all day, but I know you have other things you need to be doing today. I can't thank you enough for your time, for doing what you're doing, for sharing your stories, and for just allowing me to interview you for a little bit so we could get the message out.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, this will conclude another episode of Nomberg Law Live. We try to come to you most Tuesdays, or almost every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific. But today was a unique opportunity for me, and I couldn't pass it up, and I'm so glad I was able to sit down with my new friends and talk about the Ethiopian National Project. If you want to get involved, we'll put all the contact information in the comments section. We hope that you'll give this some consideration. We'll talk to you again another time. Take care.